Okay, now it's time to take a deep dive into our focus area of AI. And I'm delighted to introduce David Black, who's the Senior Director and Managing Director of Technology, Media and Telecoms and Apps at Google UK. Over to you, David.
Hello, and thank you all for joining us today. So I'm David Black, as you've heard, I'm Senior Director for Google in the UK. And I'm going to talk a bit about AI to lead you into your sessions after the coffee break, which comes straight after me. And so very excited to talk about AI and what it means for you. I'm very excited to discuss AI and what it means for the programmatic landscape. And who can still remember the days when the internet used to make a noise? Can anyone remember? I'd say probably about 50% of us can remember the days of having to physically plug in the internet. And that wasn't that long ago. That was just about 25 years ago. Who can remember getting their first smartphone? Give us a quick show of hands. And so I'd say probably like 90% of us can still remember getting their first smartphone. You think about how transformative that's been to the way that you spend your time. First, being able to not just go online, but being able to use the internet when you want and where you want it. And then being able to do that on mobile. The first iPhone was out in 2007, so a bit over 15 years ago. We think that AI is the next big shift and will be as fundamental to the way that we do marketing and the way that we behave as consumers as the growth of the internet and then the growth of mobile. So it's a really exciting time, but it's also a really important time to tap into that opportunity, just like this industry's always done with internet and then with mobile, and to really hone your skills, because the future of programmatic and the future of marketing is AI powered. And that's such an opportunity for us all as individuals too. So AI is the next big shift. And so we've really taken that to heart at Google. We said back in 2016, we'd be an AI-first company. Sundar, our CEO, stood on stage and talked about everything we do being AI-first. And so I'll share a little bit about our own approach, and I'll share a bit about what I think that means for the whole of the industry. But the starting point has actually been investing in incredible AI research and innovations. And again, it's a pleasure to host so many of you in person here in London, because this is a huge AI development hub for us, for the world. So Google DeepMind, our AI research and development unit, was founded just down the road. And so here in London, we've got a fantastic programmatic industry. And of course, talking at the IEB Europe Programmatic Conference all over Europe, there's a phenomenal AI research development industry going on. So such a lot of opportunity for us all. So we've really been investing first in getting some of the foundational technologies. And so many of the innovations that you see around the whole of the industries are research papers that we've written and created, or new products that we're launching. And we really believe in taking an approach which is as open as possible. And so many of those research papers we publish, and many of the technologies that you now see being used around the tech industry and around the programmatic industry have been started at Google and at DeepMind. And we're really proud to partner on so many of those innovations. And we're also really proud of our own innovation roadmap here. And our approach, and I think this is a really good kind of mantra to take as you think about what you do in AI, in your own organizations, in your own teams, and for yourselves as individuals, is three things. It's be bold, it's be responsible, and it's to go together. Because through partnership, we can make such good progress in a way that's very bold and very responsible, but also together as an industry. And so I think that's a real opportunity. And so I'll take the first of those, being very bold. And I'll start at society, and then I'll talk a bit about what that means in terms of products and programmatic, and then I'll talk about maybe what it means that we can all do together. And so just starting really bigger picture, I just think AI is going to make such an amazing difference to society. So some of the research and development that AI is now allowing, even beyond our industry, is incredible. So an example of that, my dad has been losing his sight. His condition is easy to treat, but really hard to diagnose. And so we've partnered with Moorfields, which is a big eye hospital just down the road in London, working with consultants to help to see whether we can do diagnosis better. And we found that if you show two different doctors the same eye scan, you get a different diagnosis 20% of the time. And in fact, we found if you show the same doctor the same eye scan, but at two different times of the week, you get a different diagnosis about 20% of the time. So by using AI, we can really help doctors and consultants to find that condition and give a proposed diagnosis. And so by doing that, we can help to make sure that those diagnoses are better and more accurate. And so that doesn't mean that takes away work from doctors. What it means is my dad can still go in and sit in front of a consultant, but his work has been informed by AI. He can see the exact area that there might be an issue in those billions of pixels. He can see the exact recommendation that the AI gives, but then can zoom in on it and validate that themselves, and then have the right discussion with my dad. How incredible is that? We're now doing amazing work on that in breast cancer and in other forms of cancer to also be able to home in on some of those kind of needle in a haystack problems, and by doing that, to diagnose those conditions earlier. So I tell you that story first because I think it's an amazing application of AI and a really good example of being really bold. But also I think it's a really important analogy for the whole of our industry, where we're working on huge campaigns at such significant scale, but we're also trying to make them really personal to individuals to reach the right audience with the right campaign at the right time. AI can help us all to do that better and can help us all to be better in our work and in our jobs. And that's got to be able to make a difference as we add even more value, just like that consultant is going to be able to in discussions with somebody like my dad. So AI is going to make a real difference to society. And we're also thinking really hard about how do we build AI into our products, into every product that we have, to make it AI first and AI powered. And by doing that, it's going to be so much better. Can anyone still remember using a physical map to navigate? Just do a quick show of hands. I'd say about 2/3 of us in the room can still remember looking at a physical map to navigate. So one of the things I think is amazing about Google Maps is it hasn't just helped you to get to your destination faster, it's reduced the number of arguments about how to get to the destination, because it could just do that for you, and you now no longer have to worry about getting to your destination. And so again, you can perhaps see the analogy there to the work that we all do every day. I think this is a really good, AI is going to be a really good kind of wayfinder to help us all to navigate our work better. But the next generations of Google Maps are going to be even better. So this is a new product that we're working on called Immersive View. And so now you don't just get to see the map, you can see what the destination looks like. And so you can see potentially the route that you can take, but maybe you want to know what's it going to look like when I get there. And so then you can see an entire fly through that's used AI and a whole load of photos to then be able to create a 3D model of the area that you're going to that you can then zoom around to see what your route is going to look like. And then it can even do things like overlay onto it what will be the weather at the time that you get there. So you can see it there getting a little bit warmer and then perhaps starting to rain. So you can get a real idea of where it is that you're going and what you can do. And so the power of AI to just make the whole experience that users have of the internet better is going to be phenomenal. But again, back to my analogy, I think it's all going to help us also to navigate our work even better every day. And so we're thinking really hard about how do we build AI into every product that we have. And as we do that, of course, as I've shown, be really bold, but also be really responsible. And so as you use AI in your own work, think about that responsibility that you have to your users too. And so you can see there our innovation principles around AI as we launch all of our new products. And I love the first one, be socially beneficial. Let's make sure that we all use this for the good of society. And as you can see, some really important principles there, avoiding creating or reinforcing unfair biases, safety first, and I'd say to the whole of the kind of programmatic industry in a way that's privacy safe and user-centered has to be the right way of approaching this. So that's exactly what we're doing, and I'd urge you all to do exactly that. So it's number 5 there, incorporate privacy design principles. And of course, as we all use AI more in our work, users will have lots of questions too. As generative AI, being able to generate whole images or pieces of text using AI, people will wonder, is this information accurate? And so we're thinking really hard about that responsibility too, for example, with fact-checking. And so for any publishers in the room, I know this will be important to you, but being able to see, for example, for any given photo, being able to click on it, being able to find the source of that information, being able to look up about that image to see where it was first created, and then be able to see where it has been used. Is that from a credible and reliable news source, or is that something that a user has generated? Being able to show that provenance is going to be really critical. So using AI to help fact check, to make sure that authoritative information gets elevated, to make sure the whole of the publisher ecosystem remains really sound and important. And so we've talked about being bold. I've talked about being responsible. But critically, this is about what we all do in AI together. So I really think our AI technology and the work that everybody in this room does comes together as an incredible business multiplier to help to do the things that you want to do even better and even faster as the AI learns from you, but also we all learn from the AI. And that's going to be really important in the programmatic industry because, of course, we know that consumer journeys are getting more and more complicated all the time. And you can see that in some of the latest research data. 61% of shoppers over a 2-day period are using 5 or more channels. Consumer buying processes are complicated, they're squiggly, they're all over the internet, they're multiple channels. And so finding ways to navigate that and fulfill what we need to do as marketers and ad tech professionals, which is to find the right user with the right message at the right time, is really critical. And that can be powered better by AI. And so again, we're putting a huge focus into AI-powered campaigns to be able to use AI to help to find the right users, to be able to give them the right message, to be able to do that at the right moment, and then using AI to do that really smartly and efficiently. And so in the panel after the coffee break, I know my colleague Ben is going to talk a bit about some of the incredible innovations that we're working on there to help make that available programmatically. And as we do that, the results that we keep on seeing are getting better and better all the time. And so AI adoption has been growing. And so AI adoption is now 2.5 times bigger in 2022 than it was in 2017. So incredible progress, but also more to do. So really think in your organization, are you using AI tools? And as a programmatic professional, how do you hone your AI skills? And then it works incredibly well. So 70%, according to McKinsey, of AI adopters are seeing revenue increases, and 28% of AI adopters are seeing cost reductions. So it drives more growth and does it more efficiently. And so I'd urge everybody to tap into the AI opportunity. And so the final thought I'd leave you with as you do that is to say, I know people worry a lot about competing with AI. And I don't think that's the right way of thinking about it. I'd say to the spirit of bold, responsible, and together, embrace these amazing technologies that are going to do such good for the world and such amazing work in our industry. And know that you're not competing with that technology. You're competing with other marketers who are already using that technology. And the results that they're getting are incredible. And so really think, what is your marketing objective or what is your campaign objective? How can you test and learn using AI? And then how do you measure and scale the results you're getting? And if you take that approach, start with the objective, test and learn, and measure and scale, you will be in amazing shape. We're here to help for anything that we can. And so thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I think we're going to a coffee break next and looking forward to the discussion in the panel after the break. Thank you all.